Welcome back to another rebuild. I have for you guys here today on Madden 20. Today it's going to be another realistic rebuild, this time though of the Lions. Now I think the Lions had a really solid draft this past season as well, so we're going to get into those players very shortly. But let's start out here on offense with Matthew Stafford, 82 overall star development. Now I think Matthew Stafford is definitely a good quarterback. I don't know how well he's going to play for us here though in simulation. Also, how big is his contract still? I know he got a massive extension, when he most recently signed one. So he has 4 more years left, and each season's like $25 million. So that is a rough contract. I don't know what we're going to do with Matthew Stafford. I'm going to try to keep him as long as I possibly can. I don't know if we're going to target a quarterback this year or in one of the following seasons. It'll honestly actually all depend on how well Matthew Stafford does play. DeAndre Swift, though, was just selected by this team, and many thought he was the best running back in the class. He was not the first running back to go, though, but he is a super talented player. I gave him star development. I was very tempted to give him superstar, but I just decided not to. I wouldn't be surprised if he has superstar in Madden 21, though, and I think he's definitely a player who could progress over the course of the year. Like if he does have star at the beginning of the year, I can definitely see him going up to superstar. Kerryon Johnson, though, is the other running back here. He's also a good player. They have a really good running back duo at the moment. I think I'm going to start DeAndre Swift, though, just because he has a bit more potential at the moment. I know Kerryon Johnson is a higher overall, but I'm going to see if I can, progress DeAndre Swift into a number 1, bell cow running back. That would be huge. Kenny Golladay, though, is the number 1 receiver on this team, and he is a stud. Kenny Golladay is such a good player. He has really good size. He's 6'4". He has great, spectacular catch, good catch in traffic, good catching in general. He's just a really, really solid number 1 receiver. Marvin Jones is also a really good player. I'm going to get him up to an 86 overall. Okay, they have a really good wide receiver duo with these two. And then, of course, they do have their slot receiver, Danny Amendola, who is certainly not bad either. So moving up to the offensive line here, the team has a couple good players. Like Frank Ragnow is a really good starting center. Taylor Decker is a good left tackle. Both of those guys have star development. They ended up, selecting Jonah Jackson here, right guard out of Ohio State. I think he can stay on the team long term. Is your name Jeff Dahl? No, it's Joe Dahl. Okay, my bad. I got my J names mixed up, but he's the left guard. And then Hal Vata'i, coming over from the Eagles, is the right tackle. TJ Hawkinson is the starting tight end. He should progress very well for us here. And then defensively, we have their first round selection from this past draft, Jeff Okudah. I gave him superstar development. I think that's fair. He seemed like the best corner in the class, so I think that's definitely fair. I'm going to have him play the number 2 position. Desmond Trufant will be the 1, and then we're going to have Justin Coleman play the nickel. He's a good nickel, cornerback for us, so hopefully he can progress and play well. It's sad that he only has normal development. Honestly, I kind of thought he'd have star by this point because he is actually a really solid nickelback. But we'll have to see what happens with him. I actually don't think he's going to progress too well since he is on the cusp of regression at the moment. Daron Harmon is a starting free safety. Definitely have to look to upgrade him at some point in the near future. Tracy Walker is the strong safety. He's not bad at all. 77 overall, 24 years old. We can probably keep him for a long period of time. And the team is displayed here as a 3-4. I was just looking at their defensive playbook here, and they kind of have both. So they have a 3-4 and a 4-3. I also went ahead and changed the offensive scheme in the playbook. I'm going to try the Bears for this first season at least, but they have a 3-4 and a 4-3 defense. I'm going to kind of let that rock for this first season. Let's just see how it plays. Maybe at some point I'll just change to one or the other. I usually like going 4-3s, and maybe we can get the personnel for that at some point. But the linebackers, Jamie Collins, Gerard Davis, Jelani Tavai, and Christian Jones, right? That's your first name? Okay, so Jelani Tavai is a rookie, and he normally wins Defensive Rookie of the Year, or he's at least very close to it, so I hope that can happen for us here. And then the defensive line, Deshaun Hand, Danny Shelton, and Trey Flowers, definitely not too bad. We also have Romeo Okwara, and then, where is he? Julian Okwara is also down here. I have him starting, I think, at rush, like left end or something, rush right end maybe. Potentially we can get him, involved, and he can, do something for this team. I don't exactly know. But those are the Lions, and I think they have a pretty okay team. It's a 79 overall, 79 offense, 79 defense. I don't expect them to make the playoffs this first season, but hopefully we can at least get some kind of good draft pick out of it. I'm loading into the draft class now, and this is just a quick look at it. So the name of the file is OSFX21 if you'd like to go ahead and download this one yourself. I did make some changes to it though. Since I downloaded it, I changed a couple names, changed a few players' overalls and whatnot. You can mess with it yourself if you'd like to, but let me know if you think anybody should be changed in this draft class, if anything should be changed about them. But don't pay attention to where it says these players went to school, like Trevor Lawrence, Xavier Thomas. It says they didn't go to college. That just happens with the draft classes because Madden is sort of trash sometimes, but you know what happens. But let me know if you think anything should be changed in this draft class in general, though. Okay, so at the moment we are 1-6, which is phenomenal if you ask me. Maybe we can get the first draft pick. That would be really cool. 6-2 for the Packers, 5-3 for the Vikings, 4-3 for the Bears. We are clearly on the bottom of the division. Okay. Well, DeAndre Swift, like I said, he has star development. I don't know why it's not shown yet. I don't know why that always happens with star, but TJ Hawkinson does have superstar development, so that's cool to see. And then defensively, here's a quick look at how the team is progressing. Jeff Okudah is going to be up to an 81 overall. Definitely not too bad. I feel like DeAndre Swift most likely is not playing well because that's kind of just what happens whenever you use, a pretty low overall, starting running back. That happens a lot. So Jonah Jackson, I do want back on the team. Honestly, I'm not even sure if he's supposed to be here at the moment. I don't remember exactly when he was selected, but I'm going to give him a pretty long contract in general. And he's coming back to the team for about 4 more seasons. I think that's the only player we're going to bring back here. Okay, so we did not end up making the playoffs this year, very surprisingly, but we did finish 6-10. We actually played sort of well the second half of the year. The Packers were 11-5, and the Vikings were 8-8. Actually kind of sucks that we finished 6-10. Matthew Stafford had a lot of yards, 4,330, just about 32 touchdowns, 12 picks. Definitely not a bad season for him. DeAndre Swift really was not that good, but I hope he can play better in future seasons. I really want to use him long term. That would be huge. Kenny Galladay had a really good season. Marvin Jones, almost 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. TJ Hawkinson, almost 800 yards. Danny Amendola, 3 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift gets 4, though. So the tackles struggled quite a bit. I think we're going to have to upgrade those positions at some point soon. 123 tackles, though, for Jelani Tavai. We have 20 tackles for loss for Deshaun Hand, 16 for Trey Flowers, who had 14 sacks. Okay, so the defensive line was actually really solid this season. That's pretty nice. 2 picks for Tavai, 2 picks for Tracy Walker, 1 for Jeff Okudah, Justin Coleman, and Duron Harmon. We have no touchdowns or safeties, but we do have a blocked kick by Jarrad Davis. Okay, so we were 16th, right in the middle of the NFL on offense in terms of yardage, and then defensively we were 18th, but at least we got a lot of pressure. Honestly, that's the most important thing, at least in my opinion, in Madden Simulation, is if your defensive line can get pressure, the team will usually play pretty well. Cam Newton wins MVP, and if this happens in real life, this would be insane. If Cam Newton gets signed by the Patriots and wins MVP, that would be absurd. Nobody from the Lions, though, on this list. NFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Carson Wentz. I hope that happens in real life, though, because, of course, I'm an Eagles fan. Matthew Stafford at number 10. Defensive Player of the Year is Jalen Smith, but we do have Trey Flowers and Jelani Tavai at 7 and 8. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Kyler Murray. DeAndre Swift at number 5. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Isaiah Simmons. Sadly, that is not Jelani Tavai. He's at number 2. Jeff Okudah at number 5. We got sort of close, but maybe Tavai can go up in development or something, just because he had a ton of tackles. That would be really nice. So in the Super Bowl, it is the Saints and the Browns. It's a very typical Madden Super Bowl. Let's see who's going to win this one. I think it's going to be the Browns, and they do win 31-24. Let's check out development trade upgrades, though. Anyone on the offense? I wouldn't be surprised if Stafford went up, and he did not. Kenny Galladay is up to X Factor, though. That's actually massive for us. DeAndre Swift is still a lower overall, but I still think I want him starting at the number 1 position. I think he's going to progress a lot better than Kerryon Johnson would. I don't think anyone else here on the offense is up in development trade, but defensively, maybe Jeff Okudah went up to an X Factor. Why did that happen? How did he end up going up in development? Did he have a lot of tackles? I didn't actually notice. Trey Flowers is up to superstar. Jelani Tavai is up to star. Jamie Collins is up to star. Okay. So that may not have been a good first season, record-wise, but that was actually a really, really solid year in terms of development. That's a very important season to have there. Okay, that's really nice. Let's see if we can bring anybody else back to the team. I don't want Danny Amendola. I don't want Marvin Hall. Okay, I don't want a lot of those guys. So let's just simulate now to free agency, where I am looking to spend a decent bit of money. I think we have the, cap space right now. We have 31.63 million, but let's see who I would like to bring on the team. I don't know exactly right now. I don't really want to go after any of those top guys. Zach Pascal could be a player, because he's actually really good in the slot. He goes up in development a lot, but he's getting a lot of offers right now, and I don't really want to spend that much on him. There's really, no one who I want right now, which kind of sucks. I was looking to spend some money. I think I might actually go after Zach Pascal. We might try to get him on the team and see how he does in the slot. I think he'll actually be okay at that position, so 92 points. Let's give him a little bit more. I've seen him go to superstar quite a bit. 97 points, I'm comfortable offering him that. And I actually think I'm good everywhere else. Zach Pascal rejected. That's very sad. So we didn't really get anybody. Well, we didn't get anyone at all. I could go after Kareem Hunt, but I'm not going to do that. Maybe David Moore. Maybe he can potentially go up in development trade. I would like another receiver. I could draft one, I know. I still might do that. But for now, I'm just going to go after David Moore just so we get somebody who can play the number 3. I'm not going to give him much money at all. All right, so we'll make it work somehow. I don't know exactly who we're going to have, but, you know, we'll see. Okay, so I went after a couple more players, all on incredibly small contracts, and Levi Wallace is going to accept. I didn't give him much money at all, so it's actually pretty big that we were able to get him. He's an 80 overall. Honestly, I might cut Desmond Trufant now. I don't know if I'm going to. I know they just signed him. Let me see something. How many more years does he have left on his contract? He has 2 more seasons, and I don't really want him on the team, like, at all. Now, that 2020, does that count for, like, this most recent season? Because wasn't it just the 2020 season in this game? Never mind, it's the 2019 season. I'm dumb, so we're heading into the 2020 season, so he still does have 2 years left. Okay, well, let's start the draft. Let's see where we pick. It should be a top 10 pick, and we pick at number 8. There's a player who I really want in this class, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get him. I don't want to try to trade up, so let's just go straight to pick number 8. It would be massive if he's there, but I really, really doubt it. It's an outside linebacker. It would be huge if we can get him. And we cannot. I really wanted Micah Parsons on this team. I thought he would have been such a good player. Okay, well, I could go after a cornerback of some sort. I don't think I'm going to do that, though. Let me check the trade-down options while I'm here. See what we can get. I doubt we'll really get too much this year because that really never happens. Yeah, look at that trade from the Vikings. That's exactly what I want right now. What are you talking about? That's a next year's first-round draft pick, and that's all they're offering me. Same thing with the Browns, the last pick in the first round of this year. This is such a hard pick because I really don't know who to go with. I really want Trevor Lawrence. Like, Trevor Lawrence would be such a fun player on this team. Let me think about this. Maybe, do we go Trevor Lawrence and then start him the following season? So, like, maybe we go with Matthew Stafford for 1 more year and then Trevor Lawrence after that. You know, that's actually looking really nice to me. I'm going to do it. Now, it's very unlikely that Trevor Lawrence is actually going to be available at pick number 8, but anything can happen. You know, it's definitely possible. Trey Lance is another one who I wouldn't mind taking at some point. I do want to do a rebuild with him at, you know, some point in the future, but Trevor Lawrence is available. I'm sorry, but I'm taking him. He is the 2nd ranked player in the class. I think technically Travis Etienne is number 1, but they're both tied at a 79. Hidden development trait for him. Incredible throwing stats. He can move as well. Obviously, it's Trevor Lawrence. He is such a good player, but anything can happen in this college football season. He could potentially fall to number 8. You never know how the world works sometimes. Now I think I should go with a receiver. I think I'm gonna go with Tylan Wallace then instead because I don't think I've used him yet. So welcome to the team. He's a 74 overall and he has hidden development trait. Ranked number 29. We selected him at number 40. Now he has good speed and acceleration. He's actually sort of big, you know, 6 feet tall. I mean, he's not really big, but he's also not small. Good catching. Good route running ability as well. I think he's going to be the slot, so we can just get him a ton of targets. And then Kenny Galladay will be the 1. Marvin Jones will probably be like the 3. Okay, so I just kind of noticed this as well. Like, JT Daniels, I moved in the draft class like a while ago. I don't know why it didn't fully save. Same thing with Justin Ross. I think he was there in the first round. I took both of those guys essentially out of the draft class. I don't know why they were both still here. But whatever, you know, stuff happens. I'm going to go with the defensive tackle here, and it's going to be Jordan Scott. So welcome to the team, my dude. 71, and he has hidden. Okay, so he's definitely going to be playing somewhere. Either at defensive tackle or defensive end. We'll have to figure it out. I'm going to go with some middle linebacker now. I think it's going to be Nate Landman. Why not? How you doing, friend? 67 overall, normal development. Okay. He's actually very athletic. 86 speed, 84 acceleration. Not a bad looking player. I don't really think he's going to start anywhere, but, you know, could have been a worse pick. I'm going to go to the end of the draft. I could have traded those picks away, but I probably would have gotten like 5th round draft picks next year. They're not really that valuable. But this draft, I think, actually went really well. We ended up getting the future franchise quarterback for this team, so I think that was actually a really good selection in the first round. We got a really solid receiver in the 2nd round, and then we got a starting caliber defensive lineman in the 3rd round, and then a bunch of random backups. So I think it was actually a really, really solid draft for us. I forgot to sim 1 by 1 in this one, but let's just see what happens. So Penei Sewell went number 1 overall to the Dolphins. Gregory Rousseau, number 2 to the Raiders. Patrick Surtain to the Giants. Xavier Thomas went to the Panthers. Samuel Cosmi to the Titans. Now, where did Micah Parsons go? He went at pick number 6. I was going to take him if he were available at pick number 8, but it's okay, man. He would have been a really good selection on this team, but it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so this is going to be the team heading into the 2nd year. I'm going to have DeAndre Swift start again at the number 1 running back position. I just want to see if he can eventually develop like into the 90s. That would be massive for us. But Matthew Stafford is going to be the quarterback here once more. Trevor Lawrence is going to have a season behind the veteran. Maybe he can learn something down there. Kenny Galladay went up to X Factor this last season, which is phenomenal for us. We have Tylan Wallace on the team now. He's going to be the number 2 and the slot receiver. The offensive line is pretty much the same then. They just look a little bit better because of development, you know, across the span of the season. TJ Hawkinson then is still the tight end. On the defensive side, of course, Jeff Okudah went up to X Factor, which was a huge development trade upgrade for us there. I don't think I'm going to start Scott I think I'm just going to keep him on the team for when Danny Shelton is no longer here. But Trey Flowers had a really good season a year ago. Deshaun Hand played really well too. Jelani Tavai had a ton of tackles. You know, Jamie Collins had a good year. Now, this defense actually surprised me with, you know, how well they played. I thought they were going to be like 30th on defense, but they were 18th. So it really wasn't that bad of a season. Now, we do have Levi Wallace. And honestly, I want him more than I want Desmond Trufant. So is it worth it to cut Desmond Trufant at the moment? It doesn't free up any money right now. Maybe I can throw him on the trade block. I doubt he'll get any offers, but I'm going to go ahead and try that. I really don't think he's going to get any offers because there's usually a lot of cornerbacks on the trade block, but I'll give it a shot. He actually got some offers. Okay, so I think I'm going to be trading Desmond Trufant here. A 5th round draft pick this year, a 5th and a 7th the following seasons. That's a 2nd next year. Okay, I think I'm going to take that. Hassan Reddick is being offered? Okay, a 2nd from the Bills. No, they're actually usually pretty good. I'm going to take this one with the Bengals. It's a 2nd round draft pick next year, a 4th this year, and a 7th next year. That's fine by me. I guess they really need a cornerback. Okay, well now, let's just simulate to the midseason. So we just got absolutely stomped by the Redskins, which isn't a good look, but we are 5-2. Okay, I don't know what happened this season, but we're playing much better. 4-4 for the Packers, 3-4 for the Bears, 2-5 for the Vikings. Well, let's take a look at the development trait reveals. Tylan Wallace has star development, but he's going to be up to a 78 overall, which is really nice. Trevor Lawrence has superstar development, I'm pretty certain. It's just not shown yet. If you've seen my past rebuilds, you should know that by now. But I'm pretty certain he has superstar. I didn't change that or anything, so I don't know why it would have been changed. I don't know why I'm even still talking about it. But here's a look at the defense. The team is actually playing a lot better than I expected. Okay, we also have a breakout player. And it's for DeAndre Swift. Okay, this would be a huge development trade upgrade for him. He has to get 150 yards, right? 150 yards or 3 touchdowns. Now, I really don't think this is going to happen. But this would be absolutely huge for us if it could happen. Okay, but let's go ahead and bring back some players right now. So Kenny Galladay, I want back on the team for sure. Marvin Jones, not so much. Matt Prater. I actually don't know if I want Matt Prater. He's still a really good kicker. Taylor Decker is interesting as well. I'm going to wait until the end of the year. If he doesn't have a good season, I don't think I'm going to bring him back. He's actually really cheap right now, so it's not that bad of an option. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but a lot of these guys I actually don't really want. I'm comfortable letting most of them go, but I'm just going to bring back Kenny Galladay right now. I'll wait on the other guys, but Kenny Galladay is a really good player. Let's see if he wants that. He is coming back for another 4 seasons. That's nice to see. Okay, now, can we get this development trade upgrade with DeAndre Swift? This would be such a big development. We lost the game. There's no way he got it. No, he did not get it. That's so unfortunate, man. That would have been so big if he could have went up to superstar development. You know, I kind of had a feeling this was going to happen. We did not make the playoffs. We finished 7-9. That is amazing. 9-7 for the Bears, 7-9 for the Packers as well, 6-10 for the Vikings. That really sucks. Matthew Stafford wasn't that good this season. I mean, I guess he didn't do anything like terribly bad, but definitely expect a little bit more from him. DeAndre Swift was actually really good. Kerryon Johnson also had a lot of touchdowns, but DeAndre Swift, 4.7 yards per carry, 7 touchdowns for him, almost 1,000 yards. That's a good season to have. Okay, that's actually really nice. Tylan Wallace was solid as well, 900 yards about, 7 touchdowns. Kenny Galladay, 4 touchdowns. TJ Hawkinson gets 6, but all those guys around the same number of yards. Not a bad year for any of those guys. The offensive line is much better. Halvatai was the worst one, but not too bad, I guess. I've definitely seen worse. 130 tackles for Jelani Tavai. He gets a ton of tackles in simulation. 14 tackles for loss for Danny Shelton. Much fewer sacks this year, but Julian Okwara leads the team with 6.5 sacks. We have 2 picks from Levi Wallace, Jeff Okudah, and Christian Jones. Surprising to see him get 2. Jamie Collins, Gerard Davis, Jelani Tavai, Tracy Walker, and Justin Coleman all get 1. Defensive touchdowns, we don't have any. We have 1 safety from Julian Okwara, and then we have a blocked kick from Trey Flowers. So we were near last on offense this year, 23rd. And then defensively, we were 16th. Okay, so getting a little bit better on defense, apparently. Lamar Jackson's going to win MVP. That makes a ton of sense. Nobody from the Lions, but Justin Fields at number 9. That's cool. NFC Offensive Player of the Year is Matt Ryan. There's also a dog going crazy outside. I apologize if that is able to be heard. Defensive Player of the Year is Aaron Donald, because of course it is. It's Aaron Donald. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Rondale Moore on the Eagles. I'd be so happy with that. Tylan Wallace at number 2. That would have been huge if we could have won that one, but it's okay. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Dimitri Moore. We do have Jordan Scott, though, at number 7. He was up to a 76 overall. Certainly not bad whatsoever. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the Super Bowl again. This time the Texans and the Cardinals are in the Super Bowl. That's a crazy Super Bowl there for DeAndre Hopkins specifically. Of course, going up against his former team. And now let me use my scouting points and then I will advance by. Okay, so I think the Texans are going to win this game. Deshaun Watson's usually incredibly good in simulation and they dominate 35-3. That was not close whatsoever. Let's see if anybody went up in development trait though. I kind of doubt it here on the offense at least. Yeah, so Trevor Lawrence does have superstar development, by the way. DeAndre Swift isn't really progressing as well as I expected him to. Tylan Wallace is looking pretty good, though, up to a 79. I think he's going to have a good second season for us. Defensively, Jamie Collins is up to superstar, which is very interesting. I didn't really expect that to happen. Sort of surprised that Jelani Tavai didn't go up, but that's fine. Tracy Walker, is he up to star this year, or was that last year? Did I just miss that? No, that's this year. Okay, he went up to star. That's really nice to have because he's still pretty young. He's only 26. Okay, we can keep him on the team for sure. Probably for the rest of this rebuild here. But let's see if I want anybody who is an available free agent for us. Most likely not. Actually, aside from Matt Prater. I'll give Matt Prater a contract. He definitely is not too bad. Taylor Decker also is not too bad. I'll offer him this if he wants it. He's coming back to the team for another 2 years. That's not bad at all. Matt Prater, I'll offer you this. Actually, it's really easy to get a new kicker. And I don't really feel like spending $3 million. I know I'm kind of cheap at the moment, but money's very important in Madden simulation. So I'm not actually going to go after Matt Prater. We're going to get another random kicker in free agency. We can do that fairly easily in this game. But let's see who is here in free agency. So Adoree Jackson is the top free agent. Keanu Neal is here as well. Keanu Neal would be actually really big on this team. And I can either have Tracy Walker move to free safety, or Keanu Neal probably. I don't actually want him playing free safety. He's going to start at strong if I get him on the team. There's not really anybody else down here who I want to badly. Maybe like Matt Milano. Matt Milano's a good player. Maybe we can switch to a 4-3 defense then. I don't exactly know what I want to do, but I do want Keanu Neal on the team. He's usually here, and I feel like I never go after him. So let's just try to get him if we can. 98 total points. I'm going to go into the hundreds for this. I want to go to 103 for him. I think that's fine by me. If we can get him to 103 points. That's 104. Whatever. That's fine. We're going to do that. And then maybe like Ebukam can be on the team because he's a good pass rusher here for us. And if we did that, maybe we can switch to a 4-3. I'm going to try to give him a contract. I'd like to, change his team quite a bit for this next season. He's going to be expensive, but I definitely think he'll be worth it. Let's see if we got all those players. They would be so nice on this team. We got Keanu Neal, we got Ebukam, and we got Matt Milano. That makes the defense a lot better. And now for this next year, I think I might switch to a 4-3 defense. Let's actually see what we're looking like here. So if I did switch to a 4-3, it would be Jelani Tavai at middle, Matt Milano at left, and then Jamie Collins at right. And then defensive tackles can probably be Deshaun Hand and Danny Shelton or Scott, and then the edge rushers, Trey Flowers and Ebukam. I'm definitely fine with that. That seems pretty good to me. I think we're going to try to make that move heading into this next season. We're also going to be able to cut a couple players, I think, as well, because Duron Harmon, I'm probably not going to need on the team anymore. I might go ahead and cut Danny Shelton. We'll figure it out. Okay, so I think we have the 12th overall pick here, and I don't know exactly who I want in the first round. I would like to take some sort of offensive lineman, and there was an 80 overall cornerback in this class. Yeah, that guy looked really good. I think he was the top player there. So this guy won the Heisman. I'm not going to take him, but he would be an interesting player for sure. Maybe I go with one of these guards. Devontae Killings, mid-first round for him. Or we have Reggie Caldwell, early first round. Or we have this right tackle, early first round. I could use a tackle really badly, so I think I'm going to go with Steven Chapman. Welcome to the team. 78 with normal. Very sad that he only has normal development. I kind of figured that would be the case, but it's kind of like a 50-50 with these early first round projection offensive linemen. As to whether they have a normal or, hidden development trait, but still a really good player. He's going to start at right tackle for us. Now in the second round, I would like to take one of those guards if that's possible. I really just wanted to prioritize offensive line in this draft. There is a right guard here who is supposed to go in the second round, but I probably won't take him right now. Early second rounder, that guy's probably going to start. Maybe I'll take him in the following round. Anybody still here though? Let me see if there's anybody available who, I have scouted who I want to take. A couple safeties supposed to go in the second round. It looks like the draft is sort of dead at the moment. Let's just see what we can get for next year. So that's a second round draft pick next year from the Vikings. I'm fine with that. A second round draft pick next year and a third round draft pick next year from the Saints. There's a second from the Raiders as well. I think I'm going to take the second with the Raiders. I think that's going to be a really good draft pick. I feel like the Raiders aren't normally too good in simulation, so I'm going to go ahead and take that one. And then in the third round here, I'm going to take a right guard. He's probably going to be playing left guard for us here. What a quarterback. A 60 overall. What a guy. All right, well, anyway, let's go with this right guard. It's supposed to go in the 5th round, projected to go in the early 2nd, though. 69 with hidden. It's exactly what I thought he was going to be. Well, not the overall, but I thought he'd at least have hidden. That's usually what happens with these, like, early 2nd round offensive linemen. I feel like they typically have hidden development trait. And now we are going into the 4th round. And maybe I'll go with, like, a left tackle if they're still here. That'd be crazy to take 3 offensive linemen in a row. Okay, there's no one here, really. I don't think. Actually, there's this right tackle supposed to go in the 3rd. I'm doing it, taking 3 offensive linemen in a row. This guy's a 66 with normal. Okay. And we have a kicker who I actually really need on the team. I almost forgot about this guy. Will Burke, welcome to the team. He's a 68 with normal. I didn't go ahead and sign another kicker because I figured I could probably land one in the draft and we can have him for at least a couple seasons. And now in the 5th round, I'll take that last dude on my draft board if he's still available. He is not still available. Okay, so we're going to take 1 blind pick here. I just realized this draft was 3 offensive linemen and a kicker. What a draft to have. Okay, now I have no idea who to take. I'm going to ask Siri to pick a number between 1 and however many people are supposed to be drafted here. And I'm just going to take one of those guys right now. Whichever one she tells me to go with. Okay, so it's between 1 and 89. So let me go ask Siri quick. Hey Siri, pick a number.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you please repeat it?
Pick a number between 1 and 89.
The answer is 42.
42. Okay, let's go find that guy. All right, so number 42 is a center, Oliver Vaughn. He has the best bench press, though. He's a 52 overall. This man is the strongest center with 80 strength. That is dreadful. Okay, we're going to the end of the draft. This draft was obviously very focused on the offensive line, but I think that's okay. We drafted 3 starters. We have this right tackle, this right guard, and this kicker, and then a couple other random guys that the computer selected for me. Okay, not too bad. Now, let's check out this cornerback because he's probably the best player in the class. He went number 1 overall, and he is the best player in the class. Pearson Fletcher. He's an 80 overall, really good speed, really good acceleration and agility, good jumping as well. There was another cornerback who looked just as good in my opinion, and he's a 78 with really good man coverage as well. 95 speed, 91 acceleration, 85 agility. There's a right guard, a right end, a right tackle. Of course, that right tackle is the dude we landed. Any other good tackles afterwards? David Rush I could have went with. He only has normal, so I guess we got the better tackle. Alright, so I think we actually did pretty well in this class, but hold on a second. David Howell, 75 hidden cornerback in the 3rd round. What a selection there by the Browns. Okay, so the team heading into the 3rd season is only an 82. Honestly, it's been kind of hard to get this team up in overall, but it's an 81 offense, 84 defense, and I think we're finally going to be on the rise after this season because Trevor Lawrence is going to be the quarterback, and I think he's going to elevate this team fairly well. In simulation, I think he's going to at least do it better than Matthew Stafford did, so we're going to see what happens here, of course. But Trevor Lawrence definitely has a good supporting cast here. Kerryon Johnson's going to be the #1 running back for us this season. I'm going to see how he does compared to DeAndre Swift. Actually, DeAndre Swift just had a good season, so why would I not start him again? Okay, we're going to go with DeAndre Swift once more. Kenny Golladay, Tylan Wallace, and I guess Tyler Johnson are going to be the #1, 2, and 3 receivers. I guess Tyler Johnson shouldn't even really be on this team, so I'm going to go ahead and sign another receiver most likely. But the offensive line, it now has a new right tackle and a new left guard. Of course, TJ Hawkinson still at tight end. And then defensively, we did make the switch to a 4-3. Trey Flowers and Ebukam are being the defensive ends, or the edge rushers on this team. And then Deshaun Hand, Danny Shelton, and Scott are the defensive tackles. I think that looks fine. I feel like we can get a lot of pressure this way. And then the linebackers, Matt Milano, Jelani Tavai, Jamie Collins. I think it looks pretty nice. And Keanu Neal joins the team at strong safety. So I think this team actually has a pretty good chance at, making the playoffs this year, but we'll see what happens. Let me go ahead and sign a receiver though. I went after David Moore before, so we're going to sign him here to the team. He didn't accept my contract earlier, so I'm just going to force him to come on the team now. So how are we doing this season? At week 9, the team is 3-4. We are in last place, 5-2 for the Vikings, 4-3 for the Packers, 3-4 for the Bears. Let's check out these development traits, though. I don't think there are many to reveal, but on the offensive line, this guy has star. He's up to a 73 overall as well. Nothing else really to see there on the offense, but then defensively, I think, again, we don't really have anything to see. But the team is progressing still. Like, maybe we can do something this year if we can make a nice second half push to the year. So I don't know if I'm going to bring back Kerryon Johnson. I actually really don't think I'm going to. But Deshaun Hand, I do want back on the team. Tracy Walker has been pretty solid for us as well. I think those are the only 2 players who I'm going to bring back right now. Now, I don't know if I'm going to keep DeAndre Swift for the rest of this rebuild. I honestly don't know. If he doesn't have a good year this season, I think then I'll probably go after another running back in free agency. We'll have to figure it out. But Tracy Walker on like a 3-year deal, I'm totally down for that. So both Tracy Walker and Deshaun Hand are coming back to the team. Jamie Collins I'm going to wait on as well, but I will see you guys at the end of the season. Okay, so we're probably not in the playoffs again. Yeah, that is the case. We finished 8-8. We actually won our last 3 games, which is crazy. 9-7 for the Packers, 8-8 for the Vikings, 6-10 for the Bears. How did Trevor Lawrence do? Actually, not too well. 3,815 yards, 24 touchdowns, 11 picks. I think next season I'm going to switch back to the Titans playbook. Kerryon Johnson also out-carried DeAndre Swift, which is interesting. Okay. So I don't know if I should go after a new running back just yet. Tylan Wallace was pretty solid this year. TJ Hawkinson, 7 touchdowns. Okay, it's a bit of a sad season overall in offense. I definitely expected more from this group. We have a ton of tackles, though, for Jelani Tavai. We have 13 tackles for loss for Samson Ebukam, and we have 8 sacks for Trey Flowers. Not bad. 3 picks for Matt Milano, 2 for Jelani Tavai and Jeff Okudah, 1 for Jamie Collins, Justin Coleman, and Amani Oruwariye. We have no touchdowns or safeties or blocked kicks, actually. So 24th in the NFL in offense. We definitely have to make some kind of switch there. And defensively, we were 18th. We keep being like right around the middle of the pack here on defense. So of course, I'm not going to have anybody in the Lions at MVP, NFC Offensive Player of the Year. Same thing there. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Quan Alexander. Maybe Tavai makes it. He does not. I thought maybe since he had so many tackles. Offensive Rookie of the Year. We don't see anyone from the Lions. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Nobody from the Lions. Wow. This was a pretty pathetic season, but I don't know really what to think about this one. Let's just go back to the Super Bowl. So the Cowboys and the Ravens are in the Super Bowl, and the Cowboys are going to win 28-21. Okay, let me go ahead and make a switch on offense right now just so I don't forget to do it. I wanted to try out the Bears playbook for an extended period of time, and it's just not that good for me. It's very good for the actual Bears, but we're going to go back to the Titans. That's usually my bread and butter. This is a 20% scheme fit. That's disgusting. I guess we'll do, I don't actually know at all. Vertical power run, that's fine for now. I don't know what to do at running back. DeAndre Swift is not progressing as well as I wanted him to. Kerryon Johnson didn't have the best season this past year. All right, so maybe we can actually just make an entirely new change at running back. But anyway, Jelani Tavai is up to superstar development, which is huge for us. Okay, so he should develop really well then in the next couple seasons. Or this is probably going to be a 5-year rebuild if you haven't figured that out just yet. But let's go ahead and sign some free agents. We have $18 million. I think we can also get rid of Matthew Stafford soon. And Jair Alexander is available. Okay, so maybe we go ahead and do that. And the best running back right now is actually Kerryon Johnson. So maybe we do have to keep DeAndre Swift again, which is interesting. But Jair Alexander, I'm going to try to bring onto the team. Look at that signing bonus. That's a massive signing bonus there. 105 points. I'm actually going to lower that for now because we don't actually have to give him all that much money since nobody else is giving him a contract right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's advance by the week. Let's see who we got. We only ended up getting a punter, which is okay. I actually needed a punter. I didn't have one on the team. But we are still the only team bidding on Jair Alexander. Okay, so hopefully we can get him next week. Let's head into that next week, though. Did we get Alexander? We did not yet. Okay, is anybody else giving him a contract right now? No one else is giving him a contract. Let me raise this and see if he wants it. Like, come onto the team, my dude. You're a really good cornerback, and I can definitely use you. I'm actually going to check if we can cut Matthew Stafford right now, too. I don't think I'll go after anybody else with, you know, the money we'd free up, but let's just see if it's worth it at the moment. Yeah, we save a lot of money cutting Matthew Stafford. I think his time has finally come on the team. We're going to get rid of him. I also did not notice this while I was going over development trade upgrades, but as you can see down there, Matt Milano is up to star, so that's actually really nice. We're loading into the draft here, and we have the 14th overall pick. I think we have the first pick in the second round, though, which will actually be very useful. Let's see who we should go with here, though, at, you know, the middle of the first round. There's a running back who I could potentially take with an 8 combine grade. Stanley Golson. Okay. That guy looks like something. I actually really want this strong safety. And if I take this strong safety, we might do something funky. Okay. I might move Keanu Neal down the linebacker. I don't know if it's something I'm going to do. But I can use another outside linebacker now that we don't have Jamie Collins anymore. Moses Simmons, maybe? I don't know, man. I think I'm actually going to go with Nolan McCarthy here. He looks like a really good player. He's a 76 with hidden, ranked number 5. And we took him at number 14. So he's definitely a really solid player. He looks very fun to actually use her. And honestly, I think I am going to move Keanu Neal down to linebacker. Okay, so we're just going to see how that works for this next season. I don't really know what else to do. The team is just not performing well, which sucks whenever that happens. Let's see if there's any offensive linemen who I want to take. A bunch of first-round talent guys who all look pretty decent. Pretty decent-looking center there as well. No one in particular who I really want. Any defensive tackles? There were a ton in this class. This guy's supposed to go late first round. He's really strong, actually. Late first round for that guy as well. I'm going to take Levi Battle. Welcome to the team. He's a 71 with hidden. Okay, ranked number 21. Definitely not a bad player. With this pick, I'm going to go with Peter Levy. Let's see what he's all about here. He's a 69 with normal. You know, he's a pretty good backup center. I don't really think he's going to play all that much. But I think, again, I'm going to take another offensive lineman. Also, I have 3 second-round draft picks. So maybe I actually don't take an offensive lineman with this one. I'm going to go with a godly backup quarterback. Stuart Robbins. 72 with normal, so he's not a god, but he's definitely a good backup option to Trevor Lawrence. I just really need Trevor Lawrence to have like an MVP caliber season this next year if I want this team to make the playoffs. It just hasn't been going my way so far. You know, progression has not been there for sure, which definitely sucks. I hate when that happens. But I think with this pick, I'm going to go with the left guard. It's going to be Mike Woodson. Welcome to the team. He's a 70 with normal, so we have really good offensive lineman depth. And now I'm just going to advance to the end of the draft. Okay, so another draft is out of the way, and I think we treated this one fairly well. Once again, we have a new starting strong safety, and I'm going to make the move for Keanu Neal. We're just going to see how that works out. I really don't know what's going to happen with that, but I'll try to make it work. Maybe it'll, you know, work out well. Ellis Younger, though, is the best player in the class. He's a 79 overall, and then a 77 overall defensive tackle. What a good defensive tackle draft for this year. But let's advance by. I'm gonna get the team all situated and I'll let you guys know what it looks like. Okay, so the team now is an 84 offense, 85 defense. It's progressing so slowly, but maybe we'll get there eventually. Trevor Lawrence has another experience point, but auto progression is on, so it should be spent, you know, before the season really begins. But the offense still looks pretty good on this team, in my opinion. Like, I think with the correct playbook and everything, this team will play actually very well, and I'm hoping that happens for us here this season. And then defensively, Keanu Neal is down to right outside linebacker, where he's an 86 overall, but we have a pretty solid looking replacement at strong safety. Jair Alexander joins the team. This team's definitely not bad. It's not one of my better teams, but it's certainly not one of my worst. But I'm going to spend my couch experience, and then I'll see you guys at the mid-season mark here. Okay, so how are we looking here at the bye week? Please tell me we have a good record. We are 5-3. So we started 5-2 one of these other seasons, and it did not end well, but hopefully it's different for us here. Let's take a look at the offense, though. I do think the playbook change actually did impact the team a lot. But the offense is looking, you know, a good bit better, which is cool to see. Defensively, then the strong safety sadly only has star, but it's still something. So it's not too bad, I guess. I think the move for Keanu Neal was also really nice. But anyway, let's bring back Jeff Okudah, because he's the top free agent there, and I want him for a long period of time. Frank Ragnow, I want. TJ Hawkinson, I want. DeAndre Swift, I want. Jelani Tavai, I want. A lot of these guys I want back on the team, but we should have a lot of money to spend then. $72 million. Let's try to bring back Jeff Okudah for another 5 years. He's coming back to the team, which is exactly what I wanted to see there. Jeff Okudah is one of the best players on this team, especially with his development and whatnot. Frank Ragnow, I'm going to bring back to the team for another 3 seasons. TJ Hawkinson wants a 4-year contract. That's good by me. Let's up that a little bit. And he is coming back to the team as well. DeAndre Swift, I actually don't think I'm going to bring back right now. I know I said I was, but I kind of second-guessed myself. Jelani Tavai, though, I do want for a pretty long period of time. There's another 3-year contract for him, and he wants the bonus improved. Okay, well, I'll do that next week and hopefully get him back. So we barely sneak into the playoffs. This team is absolutely cursed in Madden, by the way. 8-7-1. 8-8 for the Bears, 8-8 for the Vikings, 7-9 for the Packers. What a close division. Trevor Lawrence had 4,700 yards and 38 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That's a season. DeAndre Swift wasn't really that great, to be honest. I'm going to try to replace him. I want this offense to be as phenomenal as possible, but what is this year by Tylan Wallace? 114 catches, 1,700 yards nearly, 18 touchdowns. He's going up to superstar. And there's another dog barking outside. Very much apologize. 1,100 yards for Kenny Galladay, 11 touchdowns. Sounds like a couple, actually. Sacks allowed, not too many, so the offensive line is doing well. The offense in general was phenomenal. It seems like the defense just did not hold up. 116 tackles for Tavai, 18 tackles for loss for Ebukam, 12 for Keanu Neal and Deshaun Hand. We have 9 sacks for Ebukam as well. Good season from him. 3 picks for Jair Alexander and Nolan McCarthy. 2 for Keanu Neal and Matt Milano. 1 for Jelani Tavai, Justin Coleman, and Jeff Okudah. So Keanu Neal looks like he actually made the transition to safety, or sorry, not safety, to linebacker fairly well there. We have no touchdowns or safeties, but we do have a blocked kick there by Trey Flowers. We were 4th in the NFL in offense. I'm just letting you know that changing the offensive playbook to the Titans does wonderful things. We were 16th on defense, though. It's just such a massive difference. It's insane. But Trevor Lawrence at number 3. I told you that if he had an MVP caliber season, we can make it into the playoffs, and that's exactly what happened. Trevor Lawrence, though, at number 2. Defensive Player of the Year is Khalil Mack. Keanu Neal at number 7. Cool to see him up there. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Timmy Bartram. But we do have Stuart Robbins here, our backup quarterback at number 5. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Lionel Logan at number 1. Nolan McCarthy, though, at number 2. Okay, so we at least have a shot at the playoffs here, which is nice to see. I think I'm going to go ahead and get the running back upgrade. I don't even think I'm going to keep DeAndre Swift on the team. Actually, I'm going to get the wide receiver boost. There's no reason to get the running back one right now, because I don't think DeAndre Swift is staying on the team. But there's nobody to upgrade or anything like that. Let's just check out the overall of the Saints. They have an 87, but so do we. You know, we have a chance here to win this game. When you get to the playoffs, everything resets, so you never know what can happen. Let's go to the divisional round, where we are not in it. 28-10, we get smoked. The Dolphins make the Super Bowl before I do. I hate that. But anyway, the Cowboys are also in the Super Bowl. Madden Sim is so hit or miss. The Dolphins are going to win a Super Bowl. Okay, that happens. DeAndre Swift is an 85 overall. I don't think I'm going to bring him back to the team. If I do want him, I could potentially get him in free agency, but let's just quickly go ahead and check out who went up in development trade. Trevor Lawrence should be an X factor, and he is. Tylan Wallace is up to an 87, and he has superstar. That is amazing to see there. And then defensively, Keanu Neal is up to superstar. Ebukam's up to superstar. Okay, so the team is looking really good at the moment. Like, I'm really liking where the team is. I definitely think this team should be performing better than they have been. Let's hop into free agency, though. I'm actually going to need to replace Taylor Decker. I just thought of that. But we do have $38 million. Let's go ahead and spend some. Quan Alexander is the top free agent. Kerryon Johnson's here. Devin Singletary. I actually might go after Kerryon Johnson. It's a weird kind of rebuild then. If I do end up getting Johnson, I'm going to do that. We're going to get Kerryon Johnson back on the team. Maybe we feel bad, and I regret going after DeAndre Swift instead. I'm sorry that you don't really like this move, because it is kind of funny. I am going to make it, though. Okay, so the only player we got after the first wave was Andre Dillard. Okay, so we have $26 million still to spend. Kerryon Johnson did not accept. Maybe he's not happy with us. We are still the only team bidding on Kerryon Johnson, so I'm not going to give him any more points at the moment. We still did not get Kerryon Johnson. Honestly, I don't think we're going to be outbid. Actually, the Vikings are giving him a lot of money. All right, so we're going to bring him in anyway. We're going to give him a lot more money back. Kerryon Johnson, please come to the team. That's 94 points. I'll go even more on that. Kerryon Johnson accepted. Okay, so he's back on the Lions. He took a one-year stint elsewhere. I don't know where he went, but it doesn't really matter. He's going to be the starting running back now. And now let's simulate to pick number 21, where maybe I'll take a receiver if there are any left. I highly doubt it, though. Let's check it out, though. There were a couple guys who looked really good in the top half of the first round, and they're both gone here. I don't want any of those guys, that's for sure. Some guys in the late rounds there. Third round talent's not too terrible, I guess. Who's the best looking player available, I guess? I don't know. There's a running back, Malik Beasley, who looks pretty good. Solid looking left end. This guy's actually supposed to go early second. I might take him now. I'm trying to think if there's really anything else I need. I don't need a tackle anymore. I don't really think I need anything. So I'm going to be taking this wide receiver. Welcome to the team. He's a 69, but he does have hidden. So that's not a bad draft pick to have in the first round. He's just going to be the third receiver on this team, and he should progress fairly well throughout the course of the season. Also, I didn't mention this, but you can definitely hear it. My computer fan is going crazy, and I apologize for that. I think I'm going to go with this cornerback here, Trevante Powell. He's a 71 with hidden. What a draft pick in the second round. Okay. But yeah, I definitely apologize for my computer fan. Sometimes it just acts up out of nowhere, and I don't know why. I guess it's trying its hardest to do everything I'm doing on my computer right now. But I didn't think it was actually that loud the first time it happened, and then while I was editing, I realized how loud it actually is, and that's my bad. We're going to go with the linebacker here, Derek Wyrick. He's a 66 with normal, ranked 100. Okay, not too bad. Now I'm just going to simulate to the end of the draft. I think this draft was pretty okay. We didn't really need anybody in particular. I was really just looking to get a new, third receiver, and I think we did that. We have a pretty good-looking depth cornerback. There are 378 overall players at the top of the draft, though. This is one of the receivers I wanted to take, but there's no way I was going to get up there. He looks very good, actually. Dennis Bowman, great-looking player. A couple 77s as well. Okay, let me mess with the team now. Okay, so my computer is not really stopping the fan right now, so you might just kind of have to suffer through this with me, because I don't want to wait like an hour for it to stop. I don't know how long it's going to take. But here's a look at the team heading into the final season. It's an 87 overall, 87s across the board. The offense looks lethal. I think this offense can carry this team back into the postseason once again. And then defensively, this side of the ball does not look bad at all either. Like, the offense and the defense both look so nice on this team, and I definitely think we can make it into the postseason. But I'll keep this recap short just because of the fan issue. You know how it goes. But I'll see you guys at the end of the season. Okay, so the fans slowed down, and we also made the playoffs, and we have to take on the 13-3 Giants in the wild card round. Huh? How did they not get a first round bye? Anyway, we finished 9-6-1 this year on top of the division once again. 8-8 for the Bears, 7-9 for the Packers, 5-11 for the Vikings. Once again, though, this team is absolutely cursed with their record. They just don't win games for some reason. This is a really weird season by Trevor Lawrence. So 4,600 yards, just about 38 touchdowns. Really good numbers, but then 19 interceptions. Don't really know how I feel about that. It's like an okay season, I guess. Kerryon Johnson was actually really good this year. 9 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. I'll take that. Tylan Wallace is a glitch. Kenny Golladay over 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. TJ Hawkinson has a good year too. Sacks allowed, honestly not all that many. Andre Dillard did his best there. 113 tackles for Jelani Tavai. We have 18 tackles for loss for Deshaun Hand. We have a good number of sacks here. Trey Flowers, Samson Ebukam, and Deshaun Hand all did very well. Interceptions, we have 4 for Keanu Neal and for Nolan McCarthy, 3 for Jeff Okudah and Jair Alexander, 1 for Jelani Tavai. Okay. Defensive touchdowns, none. Safeties, none. Blocked kicks, none. That's kind of sad, but it's okay at the same time. Don't know what that means. 4th in the NFL on offense. Defensively, are you around mid? Again, no, you're not, actually. Top 10, just about. Let's go. That's awesome. Deshaun Watson wins MVP. Okay. Richard Stein at number 3. Don't know who that is. Trevor Lawrence, though, at number 4. Almost winning an MVP. That's okay, though. NFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Zeke. Trevor Lawrence at number 5. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Khalil Mack. Nobody from the Lions. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Damon Berg. Okay. Kendrick Ramsey at number 5. I think he's that receiver, if I remember correctly. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Keaston Brown. But we do have Trevonte Powell at number 8. Let's go. Best quarterback is Trevor Lawrence. It's actually massive. Best running back is Ezekiel Elliott. We do have Kerryon Johnson, though, at number 8. That's pretty cool to see there. Best wide receiver is Tylan Wallace, and then Kenny Golladay at number 4. That's fantastic. Best offensive lineman is Zach Martin. Frank Ragnow makes it at number 10. Best defensive lineman is DeMarcus Lawrence. Deshaun Hand, though, at number 3. Trey Flowers at number 8. Best linebacker goes to Khalil Mack. Best defensive back is Gerald Jarrett. That's actually a really confusing name to say. Nolan McCarthy at number 6, Jair Alexander at number 8, and Jeff Okudah at number 10. Let's go. The secondary is nutty on this team. Greg the Leg wins best kicker, but we do have Will Burke at number 8. Certainly not bad there. Now, we have a ton of coach experience. Let me go ahead and spend that, and we're probably just going to lose this wildcard game, but honestly, I think this rebuild has been good enough, just because we got the team into the playoffs. Like, that's good enough by my standards. At least 2 seasons, we got the team into the playoffs, and we actually made a pretty solid looking team, but the Giants seem very glitchy right now. They are an 86 overall. Okay, but they finished 13-3. I think it's just because of Saquon. Saquon's insane in Madden. Let's advance by, go to the divisional round. Are we in the divisional round? We are not. 42-17. We get absolutely smoked once again, but honestly, it's okay. I made the playoffs twice with this team, and if you guys do rebuilds yourself or just mess around with simulation, there are just like a handful of teams that are very hard to get into the playoffs. The Lions are one of those teams. I don't know why they always play so poorly in simulation, but they absolutely do. But the Super Bowl is between the Rams and the Browns. I'm going with the Browns here. They are going to win 31-17. Let's take a quick look at development trade upgrades. Tylan Wallace should be up to X Factor, and he is. He was actually disgusting these past few seasons. That's nutty. This offense still looks so good if I were to go a couple more seasons, but I'm not going to. On the defense, then, anybody up in development traits? I think Deshaun Hand is up to Superstar. I think that is actually it, unless I'm missing somebody, which is totally a possibility because I'm very dumb. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.